Chris and Brandon with the Kabuki Strength Team, and we're gonna show you a movement stolen from Mr. Louis Simmons of Westside Barbell called the box deadlift. This is really great for sumo deadlifters that are struggling with a few different things. It could be getting the torso pulled up over the top of the hips before the lift, instead of at the end when it makes it become an erector lift, engaging the lats properly, or just hip firing patterns. So what you're going to do is start with a barbell in front of you, and he's going to get down to where the plates would be on the ground. And so what this does is the first movement we're actually going to do is to sit back on the chair. So boom. So this is going to draw up his legs until he's in this position. So first movement, he's drawing the torso over the top of the hips. To do this, he also needs to make sure he makes these lats rigid. So again, he's going to do like 5 repetitions like this. So where he's pulling the weights off the ground, getting into this full seated position till they get comfortable with this. And then he's going to move to a full deadlift. So here, now fire up through. Boom. So now we've got that perfect hip hinge and that firing. So we're not trying to pick with the back first and then pull the torso over secondarily. Again, this is going to be a great activity. It just cues, and this is exactly what should be happening on your setup, where you're driving those hips in, and then the last lit, you tighten those lats to pull this torso up over the top of the hips, and then fire through. Brandon, any additional tips?
This is a pretty unique exercise with the chair. It's similar in some aspects to a box squat, but I think a point of emphasis in this is even though we do go through these little phases of back and forth to kind of cue that movement, we don't necessarily want to break those into 2 separate phases when we actually perform the box deadlift. That's really just a cue where you should be first, but as soon as you go to actually standing through the deadlift, we need to make those into one succinct movement.
Yeah, which would be exactly as this is to cue a proper deadlift.
Yeah.
So we're overemphasizing certain pieces of it first. So we do like 5 repetitions to really ingrain that. Now you put it together. Usually we're not going too heavy with this. This is fairly light to just deal with those cueing patterns. It can be around like 50% of someone's deadlift, and doing a couple of those sets of boom, 5 repetitions, then 5 more complete from the floor up. So that's how we would integrate it into our program. Not done as a max effort or anything of that nature. So done secondarily.